No, do they experiment? And same thing with Gravity.
They definitely have the fan support here.
Yes. Boom.
All right, so no double lift Kalista this time around. Definitely. This is actually 5.4 as well, where her mobility was taken down a little bit.
Concentration from the AD carries, suiting up. The supports as well as Rumble gets banned out. Not going to see that from ZionSpartan. Even in the 2v1 situation, he can fare very well for himself on that champion. Not many can. Kenan gets banned out. A lot of top laners focused to him. And Zed as well. So no power from that mid lane. LeBlanc actually may be left up.
Yeah.
Link on this side. We'll have to see what they decide to pick last.
Lissandra is still up.
That too.
She is a very high priority champion at the moment. Lissandra plus Maokai, probably the two best for top. Oh, never mind. Lissandra is the queen.
The queen. So she is picked up and given the right to sit on the throne in the top lane for Hauntzer. Most likely, we have seen Bjergsen take that actually mid lane for his first play in professional.
Very well could still be mid lane. So early flexible pick here for Gravity, giving nothing away. However, hard engage definitely has been a key factor for them, securing that. The Hecarim into the Lissandra pick here from ZionSpartan and CLG. And we'll see if they are actually able to get Hecarim through the early phases of the game where he's weakest.
So that seems like a bit of a tough lane. We just say it was like Scar. Was that what you wanted? Did you want Hecarim?
Well, the thing is,
yes,
it's interesting matchup because Lissandra is a control mage, and Hecarim does not usually take mobility summoner spells, so he's fairly easy to control early on before he gets to level 6 and something like that. But at that point, you have all-in burst that he can go toe-to-toe with Lissandra and try and just kill her. Similar to how like Jarvan or something tries to go all in on her.
Well,
but it is up to her use of her snares to be able to keep that Hecarim at bay.
Well, it's a control mage versus an out-of-control horse. We'll see how that lane goes if they match up. Right now, I thought we were going to see the Sejuani had a lot of play from Diamond over in EU. Very impactful as well. Seen that rolling around in solo queue every once in a while, too. But Rek'Sai gets picked up by Xmithie, and on the side of Gravity, we see the Graves Janna, a lot of power to come out and burst from that lane. Not a huge kill at level 6, but they could definitely put the AD down.
Grabbing a bit of disengage for themselves. Bunny FuFuu does have the option for interrupting the engage from Hecarim. Now, Hecarim, a lot of the power comes from, especially in the later stages of the game, teleporting in with home guards. If you can tag him with something long range, and stop that home guard charge from Hecarim, then it really does a big help for crushing that engage. But we'll see here. The Jinx locked in again.
Jinx locked in, Thresh as well, so there could be a lot of plays being made here with the horse hooks. What with a lock in, it will be Viktor. Again, Keane is going to try his hand. This is what they took the loss to against Liquid in week 6. So we'll see if they can bring it out for a win here.
Yeah, Gravity going with a much more balanced team composition this time around. They've got Saintvicious, who, even coming from the jungle, Sejuani can be your main front line, your large tank. All she has to build is health, and she still does a substantial amount of damage. He'll probably just rush that Juggernaut on Sejuani. And Viktor has a really good mid-game once he starts upgrading his personal item. It starts evolving. So
keep track of that
very flexible team here from Gravity with very strong engage as well as disengage. Like the well-rounded power. However, with the Lulu plus a hyper carry, if it's a solo lane Lulu here for Link, scales really well with AP, and it can get off multiple shields. Always has the extra mobility for Jinx as well to try and get her to just the first kill to reset. CLG do have very strong scaling, and they can really rely on the Hecarim and the Jinx towards the late game.
Really, really nicely placed that last pick around the composition. We've been seeing a lot of Lulus lately kind of not do too much for the team, but how this is looking to work for CLG, it should be pretty amazing if the resets happen. Now that we've got a look at our teams for this match, send hashtag GVWin or hashtag CLGWin to @LOL Esports. We'll be checking in shortly on the fan vote. I promise it won't be 0%. We are going to get into game, though. The crowd very, very ready. The teams now very ready. Let's get into the Rift.
All right, let's see here. Hecarim starting off with his Doran's Blade. Let's see if he does get to use it. Hecarim is also really good at follow jungling, the double jungle style for lane swaps, because he could just spam his Q following the jungler around. Doesn't have to take too many hits from the jungles, because Rek'Sai should be able to absorb those and heal up on the way from camp to camp. Let's see, though. Both teams looking for those deep wards to try and see how the lanes will shake out. Looks like Viktor might be able to get a defensive one to see CLG's path. Not really too surprising, though. The most common path for teams nowadays. Invading for these really deep wards. The next question is, how will they work around it? Because both teams should be very well aware that these wards are placed in their red buff side jungles.
Yep. The pings go out. Everybody is privy to the knowledge as they back off here. We'll keep things safe. Remember last game from Counter Logic Gaming, we had Xmithie on Nidalee. He went a little hard in the early game, and the team actually gave up a triple kill to Liquid in that situation. We'll see if they right those wrongs here, play a safe early game, and get what they want. Right now, not so safe, but they're not really in danger either.
So right now, it looks like CLG are going to start off with Zion and Xmithie in the weak side jungle. No, they're going to keep Doublelift down here too. Okay, so it's just the standard lane swap for both teams here. The only difference is that CLG are starting on the enemy side of the map because they do have their duo lane down here. So a little bit safer for them, as Gravity are going to have to transition into the enemy side of the map. The Saints starting on their own blue side.
Both AD carries mirroring that wave as far as they can and allowing it to hit into the first minion. Nice job. Let's see what the push is on either side as well.
Yeah, and this is a very good way of getting Hecarim through the early laning phase. Yes, he will have sort of a stunted growth still since he's just follow jungling, but he will not be abused by one of these range mages early on. And as we said, he has a fairly fast clear speed as far as double jungling goes.
Yep.
Lissandra, not too shabby herself, though. Using her passives, she's just able to spam Qs out.
Gonna have to watch for the kill pressure and the kill focus if ZionSpartan does get the lane as well. Only has Ignite along with that teleport. So
look at this start, though. CLG are doing a strategy that we have seen a couple times so far, but definitely not becoming the most commonplace. It is one side jungle clear, and then 3-manning the dragon. And once again, the Hecarim, just the spamming, he has very good constant damage output at level 1, which very few champions do have. So CLG able to take it. The other thing to note here, Xmithie, you can see him constantly using Burrow to get not only the unburrow extra damage, but also firing off the Prey Seeker every time you burrow. That's something you can easily forget. Every time you go underground, might as well fire off the Prey Seeker for extra damage. Definitely does help you and takes a very small amount of time. So CLG do have that first dragon, but they will be a bit slower on the turret push. So Gravity, on the other hand, are going to get the early global gold lead with turret going down first.
Yep. And that blue buff going over to Zion. Xmithie not necessarily needing it as they fly around the jungle. That'll help them to clear quicker and keep themselves out there, getting as many camps as they can.
And with CLG not reacting with having Doublelift switch priorities and start shoving the lane, makes me think that they would just, not even going to finish it here. Looks like they want to try and get it to bounce back at them. CLG are fine with leaving that turret down, and they might want to just cultivate a safe place for Zion to farm. See if they can do this effectively, though, because currently Zion back into the enemy jungle.
Yeah, power and numbers for them. It looks like they're actually trying to catch somebody rather the Krugs. And if anybody was coming to lane, we have the roam here from Aphromoo for safety. But still, Gravity on the top side of the map. Not going to find any trouble from the 3-man towards the turret. But they, however, may get themselves this.
Well, let's see. Doublelift has decided to start pushing it now.
Yeah,
so
a little bit.
They do want to shove it into the turret. Remember the top one? Gravity can take it at any time they want because it's so low right now.
They might do that now as they see this happening in the bottom lane as well. Good call there. See 5 minutes on the clock. We'll see if the teams mirror each other. Mid lane is 30 to 27, so no huge lead to be had there. But Link looking to stay safe to offer that utility of Lulu in the late game. He gets a ward down towards the bottom side.
Yeah,
just going to keep it safe.
CLG, once again, in the lane swap, performing really well. Come out with the extra advantage here due to their duo staying bottom, so they got the early dragon. And Gravity, they didn't make the choice to try and rush down the turret and swap their champions over to the bottom side to try and defend the counter shove. They decided to deny another wave of minions, leaving the turret up instead. And CLG pretty much bang on even with the extra dragon buff, so a good pickup.
We'll see where they decide to go from here with all that vision in the bottom of CLG Gaming. We just saw Gravity take a bit of Xmithie's jungle. He's not going to have the Raptor buff this time. And may deny them a bit of vision here in the early game as Gravity starts to push up.
This is the tricky part where you switch back after you know you've abandoned this side of the map for a good 5 minutes. You have to play around the fact that your enemies probably left a lot of wards in your red buff side jungle. So typically we'll see a lot of sweeper activations and early pink wards being placed defensively on that side to try and clear it out.
Hauntzer not wanting to go too far ahead. He only has wards by red. He doesn't want to take the damage from ZionSpartan, but he's staying within that minion range for the time being. He saw him level up. Now giving a bit more respect to the situation. Xmithie down towards the bottom. Looks like they'll get a clear because of this pink ward, and the vision games will start. Should see Dragon in a few minutes here, and we'll see if CLG goes right for that again. Yeah,
bottom lane fairly even here as both of them were able to get the BF sword after the swap. I think the biggest difference, though, is the top lane, because Zion, with a bit of an experience lead up there, and is almost at that level 6 point of Hecarim, which is much more threatening to Lissandra, so he doesn't get bullied. Here goes Xmithie in the bottom lane, though. Good flay, counter gank.
Oh, Saintvicious with that counter. Level 4s here, double teleport exactly the same time. Who's going to offer more? Scop trying to add a little bit. Hauntzer didn't really offer too much of the crowd control, and the rest of CLG Gaming is able to disperse on that. Ooh, back and forth, though.
Yeah, everybody down bottom lane. Even the mid laners were thinking about roaming down, but canceled them as soon as they saw the disengage. So both teleports burned at the same time.
Yep.
I feel like that does hurt CLG and Zion a little bit more. He hasn't been able to rush to his upgraded boots and home guard anyway, though, so not going to be that big of a deal as he heads back to lane with some magic resist now.
Yeah. Got a nice wave coming at him as well here in a few minutes. If Hauntzer decides to give that a few Q spells and push it out. Still focusing on the bottom lane here, Aphromoo and Doublelift. Usually we've seen a lot more plays from Aphromoo at this point in the game, but they kind of stuck to their side of the map, warding in this lane.
And I want to go over that play that Aphromoo just headed up down bottom a little bit more, just because the timing of it was so good for ZionSpartan, because they send their jungler down bottom, so they know the worst case scenario is an even draw like we just saw. They have Aphromoo initiated at the time where Zion had shoved a full double wave up to the turret. So Lissandra was level 4, and there was a full double wave at her turret. They forced that issue down bottom, knowing that Zion can teleport down there and not lose any minions.
Right.
Whereas if Hauntzer answers the teleport, he's going to lose at least a wave, maybe a wave and a half of minions up there, and he's still behind in experience. You can see Zion got to that level 6 way before.
Yep.
So Hauntzer definitely, even though nothing happened, there were no kills down bottom, that was a huge play for CLG, very well coordinated with all members of their team. Their top laner communicating that he had a good wave shoved up, and it was a great time to teleport and force a fight down there, and them allocating their jungler so that they knew they would not be outnumbered down there. So good coordination here in the early game from CLG, even with no first blood.
That's what we know from them, right? Keep it strong, controlled, and rotating in their favor to start. But the late game can sometimes get under their skin. Gravity can get to that point. Maybe they'll find a way around the defenses of CLG Gaming right now. A bit of offense with Looks like a 600 gold lead at least. A little bit more. And Keane and the rest of the team going to push mid here. Blue buff onto Keane should make these minions go quite quickly, but doesn't look like they'll stay with him just for now. Also, I'm loving Xmithie's path of tunnels all the way through the jungle, making it easy for him to get back and forth if he needs to get to the mid lane. He can also just Void Rush right out to assist the team.
Oh, there is the Void Rush. Again, teleport's not up for either top laner. So since Gravity have decided to keep Lissandra at the mid lane, they should be able to control the vision around here. While CLG just try and poke and buy time for Zion to farm up top, he's not even shoving the wave, so they're really trying to focus farm onto Zion, and they're even okay with giving up this dragon. Right now, really all they're trying to do is delay Gravity, because they want focused farm onto Hecarim so that Hecarim can get to the point where he can jump in. He's their main initiator coming in with home guards or being sped up by Lulu. So they definitely want him to be a powerful force. Giving up the dragon, and they've actually had him switch objectives top lane and start shoving it heavily instead of trying to freeze it.
Should be able to get some good damage on it. If not, just take the turret.
There he is, trying to shove the way into the turret before Lissandra can get there. Their teleports are synced up, so he knows that she does not have teleport and can't teleport up here to grab this wave. So he just wants it to all die to the turret in exchange for that dragon.
Good pressure here from Link.
Interesting head here by Link. Will they cut her off from the turret? Because they don't have really deep wards to see if Saint's there to back them up. Looks like they will try and shove her off.
Link is absolutely going for that utility kind of Lulu as well. Lucidity boots for him, for those shields, the speed ups. A little bit more cooldown instead of damage in the Sorcerer's boots. So interesting build for him.
Yeah, and the solo lane Lulus, they really do need to position wisely in team fights.
Yeah.
They don't want to expose themselves because they should not be using their using her utility on herself. It should be reserved for the Hecarim and for the Jinx.
Right.
Trying to shield them and augment their strengths. We'll keep track of Link, see if he's able to keep himself safe while using most of his abilities on his teammates.
So we see what the AD carries as well, prioritizing here. Cop gives himself the pickaxe. Doublelift finished up boots on this one as well, so a little bit damage behind, but the reset could really make all the difference.
Yeah, Doublelift rushing for the Berserker Greaves rather than trying to complete a full Infinity Edge first. Go more for that flat attack damage. But again, we just saw more focus top lane here from CLG. They really want to secure a strong mid game for ZionSpartan to shine. And the Lulu roam top, Link, it didn't cost him CS because he shoved his lane first, but he was able to deny, you know, a good half wave at least from Lissandra, further keeping Hauntzer down.
Wow. CS between this mid and the bottom lane, absolutely awesome right now. Near even. Let's see if Xmithie can create anything. I think he might tunnel under the wall or just get some wards in here and see what kind of trouble he can create on the side of Gravity's jungle.
Good tunnel there to place for later use, and laying down his Sightstone wards. Once you get your Sightstone, you want to always try and keep up all three of your wards.
Easy peasy. Looking at him as well, getting a Chilling Smite item over Trailblazer.
Well, let's see, hold on, because there could be some action. He's pulled it all the way into the bush, so there was a chance that Saint would think that it was already gone. It's not, though, and we will see if the Prey Seeker works out here. He got the small one and a level off the small minion, but doesn't get the buff.
It wasn't Dragon. Saint's going to smite it. He got it. Oh, Keane. Very, very scary there, even with the help of Saintvicious as an ultimate just on the backside. Hauntzer, that crowd control, very effective around the turret here, but the chaos of the horse able to kind of give him a ring around the rosy when he leaves the turret.
Yeah, and look at the difference there in top lane. All right, mid lane, they're going to go for a little bit of pressure. No hook, though, so no play. Link going to try and cut off. But the difference top lane here, the 2-level advantage from Zion.
Yeah.
From all of those early stages that we pointed out.
2-level advantage, 50 CS lead. It's got to feel pretty good right now for him.
They can't do much here, so he should watch out. CLG claims yet another one of those small minions at the buff camp, though. You mentioned how at the start of the season, many patches ago here for the preseason, though. Indeed. Big change was to move a lot of the experience and gold off of the actual buff and onto those side minions. So it is a fairly big deal to steal those away. Nice little chunk of experience. Every little bit does count.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially around this point in time in the game, we're getting up towards where level 11 is going to be a big impact for ultimates. ZionSpartan may be the one to hit that first. Keane is close as well. It's going to make an impact. 2 minutes onto Dragon. They all have time to kind of pan out with that and maybe get one more item in the inventories. There's quite a bit of gold right now sitting on CLG Gaming to spend.
Yeah, and remember, we just saw CLG putting a lot of their ward coverage efforts targeted at the second Dragon. Xmithie dumped all his sight wards, double pink wards from them. Really trying to prep this bottom area because Zion now, with the home guard upgrade, teleport back active, and the extra phage. Phage is, let's go over how good phage is for Hecarim because of his passive and getting extra speed for it.
Let's.
Not only does it allow him to stick to his targets, which is obviously key as a melee carry, but gets so much more value than every other champion in the game out of that item. Let's see if he's able to make a play, because bottom, they're already expecting at bottom, and Saintvicious has gotten into place, hovering on a pink ward in the tri-bush. However, well, he is able to sneak into that side bush. I think that ward just timed out.
He might give up, or at least he's going to walk into the top side here, and they'll finally know. They will back. Finally, I think Doublelift now has enough to actually get Infinity Edge. He's got quite a bankroll in the pocket.
And again, they can commit so much up to this top side.
Yep.
Zion just abusing this very, very intelligent start that CLG did for their Hecarim.
This is really good by Gravity here. Doublelift wanted to back. They have 20 seconds on Dragon. They take this turret. Doublelift won't have the gold, or won't be able to finish the Infinity Edge, and they may be forced into this fight.
Oh.
They may be forced in whether they want to or not, rather. Here comes ZionSpartan. Hecarim right into the fight. He goes out the backside, and that was more of a disengage than an engage. Zion there, right outside the ring, and they can't follow up.
Well, they just blew everything to gain that position. Let's see if they can actually make something happen, because those were two very key ultimates there, as well as the home guard effects. You don't get to redo that one. And Gravity are going to chase him off. Yeah. No Lulu ultimate, no Hecarim ultimate, no home guard boost for Hecarim. And Gravity are happy to take some damage. It looks like they're going to go 50-50 on this Dragon.
Oh, Saintvicious! The smite fight going over to him once again.
And a level down.
Prey Seekers are out. Yeah, good point. Level down, less smite damage to come out, and he still grabs it with the team. Dropped by Gravity, kind of pulled that one out of a scary situation and back into their favor.
All right. CLG, though, always rotating.
Always. when you think you have the advantage, you got to look twice, and CLG is trying to take it away from you once again. Now to the mid lane. This could drop. There was a lot of ultimates used on the last one. Actually, no, there weren't. There's still a lot of ultimates to be used, so I have to be very careful. Yeah,
they really do. Caution is the key word here for CLG, because right now Viktor is spiking pretty hard. He's got both of his important upgrades, as well as the needlessly large rod and the level 2 ultimate. So the damage that you get from the initial level 2 ultimate and the burn damage really, really add up.
Well, time to breathe for both teams. They get a bit of room to get what they need. Doublelift had enough gold from the BF sword to finish that Infinity Edge and grab the scepter, so it looks like he's going to favor a little bit of sustain here, figuring he might have Saintvicious and Hauntzer diving straight to that back line. Still has the safety of Link he can rely on for these fights. We're watching that composition to still kind of come together as they fight 5v5, knowing they were down a bit in gold there. Did not allow them to fight for Dragon. So we see 2 over now to Gravity. 20 minutes here. As we get into the game, the lanes pretty much fizzled out, and we're going to see who can fight better now.
Well, Hecarim working slowly towards his Trinity Force. The 2 main components completed. He should have a bigger effect next time he teleports into a fight than we previously saw. A little bit far ahead of the rest of the team, not able to coordinate with them.
He tried to bring him back,
but you saw the inklings of what's possible with this combination.
That's right. That's the thing is we get to watch too is if ZionSpartan's in the top lane and he has the back or something to get more health, then you know he's going to be flying out with home guards. So the initiation is almost foretold. It's going to be good to watch. Right now he does stay in the top lane with teleport down, so the team is ready to kite the fight on the side of CLG Gaming instead of take these. Gravity realizes this and hopefully can able to grab mid. They should be able to push up the wards after this and grabbing good advantages for themselves here in the mid game. 3K gold down, but still making things work.
Yeah, good strong push mid. They do have a pretty big wave bot there that Doublelift just pressured. Meanwhile, they also got this solo farm on Hecarim that is ever important to CLG.
Keep him going. Got that Sheen now.
With the Hauntzer rotating down bottom, it looks like they're going to give up this mid turret as well. So CLG are able to answer back very, very quickly because of the bottom wave that Doublelift push. Good flash there, getting away from the Sejuani ultimate. Also, to note, since we just saw one of our first Sejuani ultimates, it's going to be very important for CLG to have Link standing fairly far away from Doublelift so that they both don't get stunned at the same time.
That's true.
They need Link, as we said, to really worry about his positioning for these team fights so that he's able to apply those shields and buffs.
The connect range on that ultimate is pretty decent too. If somebody near you gets hit, you're probably getting hit. Got to be very careful. A lot of damage to follow that up as well with Graves, Lissandra just constantly spitting out the DPS. And we have Bunny FuFuu picking up the Magi's, looking to grab some assists for himself throughout the game as well.
The Janna Magi.
Back. Leave it up to Bunny. Gonna try to make some plays for the team. Bigger shields, better damage.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Because the only thing he would be getting Mikhails for would be Aphromoo hooks, which are definitely scary and game-changing. Aphromoo hooks specifically, but most of the other things that you would be cleansing are knockbacks, knock-ups. Maybe the Terrify from Hecarim. But nope, just going to go for the extra ability power here.
Yep.
Try and stack up.
Triforce Spike for ZionSpartan now. Finally has that completed up. Took a little bit longer because he focused those home guards in. Got to get those. Locket of the Iron Solari looking to be built up here by Xmithie versus the double AP. And Gravity looks to make a move.
Here's one of those hooks.
Xmithie flashes up. The rocket comes out. The last bite's going over to Xmithie on Rek'Sai. First blood, and it took a while. 22 minutes in.
All right, Aphromoo over the ledge. Able to hook himself a pig. They get bacon for CLG. First blood going to be down, plus top lane pressure since Zion's been pushing this whole time. And nobody really wants to fight him now that he's thriving in his Trinity Force power spike. Really, really dangerous Hecarim at the moment. Have to worry about that teleport in as well.
This is the thing. When CLG smells blood in the water, they keep going. Already trying to get around and route Gravity here at this second tier turret. Looks like Keane is going to be able to stop that from doing that. Zion.
Both of them, he's just staring him down. Zion has no idea this award by Wolves saw him the entire time.
So sneaky. So sneaky.
Hauntzer plays it cool.
There's another hook. CLG looking to get more. That's the ultimate we were talking about. Xmithie's on the front line. Aphromoo gets Doublelift out with the wild growth on. Here comes Hauntzer. Xmithie now is going to go down. Did Aphromoo want the pull? Gravity actually can't follow up. Backside, Hecarim comes in. ZionSpartan can't really get the hit on. He gets focused with quite a bit of damage. They do take down Saintvicious, aching for some bacon. CLG pick up one more, and it looks like they will be forced to stop after that one. Gravity disengages.
Yeah, Gravity showing off their different layers of engages there. Able to follow up and get the initial kill. But a good flank around the back from Zion.
This is pretty chaotic, actually.
So here's the first layer. That's the Saintvicious ultimate, and he's able to get right back in there. But the teleport comes in, and Hauntzer follows it back up. So all their really big CC abilities have been used, and they know they immediately need to get out of there. They see Zion coming and try to split a little bit. Keane flashes forward there, and lasers to try and even take him out. And they almost got him out. But CLG pick up the extra kill on the way out, and stick around for the red buff.
That's all he needs to do. Run in, run out, make the horse pass. He's good to go. Drive-by horsing. So CLG picks up quite a bit more. We only thought it would be that second tier turret in the bottom lane, but it turned into an entire fight that went all the way up to Raptors. Now 3-1 in favor of CLG. 6,000 gold lead. That is growing a little too fast for Gravity.
So much here funneled onto this horse.
Yeah, 211 CS already. He's got a 100 CS lead on his lane.
Plus, look at the way he's building. Since he's facing a double AP with an AP jungler, he's building all magic resist early and just banking on the fact that he can jump to the back line to fear cop and possibly 100% kill cop.
Yeah.
If they're able to take out Graves, then everyone stacking magic resist, and rushing this locket is going to pay off because all this AoE magic damage not going to be burning very hard.
He's making a strong statement for one of the best top laners.
Another thing I like about this comp here from CLG is with Rek'Sai as their jungler, not only do they have that really scary Hecarim home guard teleport to worry about, but even the jungler can help them out with cross-map plays. They can go 1-3-1 split push really easily.
Oh,
yeah, he's a bit ahead of Hauntzer, 3 levels, and a lot. Yep, he's dosed. Aphromoo gets the assist.
What a nice guy!
See, they wait to get Aphromoo the assist with the shield on his lantern.
That was a broment right there. That was nice of him. Very nicely played.
We've seen this game before. Trying to recall with Rek'Sai near you.
Oh, dear. And Price Seeker. See it on the mini-map. They're having their own mini-game now down there. Wonder when he'll actually be able to back. Looks like the top lane's going to be pushed quite a bit. ZionSpartan did not affect him whatsoever not having flash this game. He has taken control of each fight that he tries to get himself into. Not afraid. And looks like they're going to go even harder here for Saintvicious. Not many members. I saw Bunny FuFuu walking up there for a second, but it looks like he turned tail. He knew this situation was going to happen. Now he gets there for the shield. The team has to gather to protect this one. Looks like they are going to leave Xmithie in the bot lane to do all that he wants with this inhibitor.
Yep. Continuing on. Diligent in his split push.
Yes, sir.
Just exactly what CLG needs. He even has the Krug smite on. He was able to smite those Krugs. So pretty big, on-hit damage for the turret there. Able to drop that one. Here comes the Hecarim. They should be able to finish it really quick. His home guard attack will take it down very quick. Trinity Force empowered. Yep. What a play from CLG. Those are the cross-map plays I'm talking about with using Hecarim as well as the Rek'Sai for your jungler. You have to be really worried about how many teleports you give CLG because they love making plays like that. Plus, if you try and target Doublelift and Aphromoo, as a lot of teams do, then have multiple people to teleport down to the bottom lane that can turn fights. But they're just going to get the inhibitor all by themselves.
Just brute forcing it. There's not much that Gravity can do. They're going to try to refight this. Keane fires out the laser.
For himself.
Oh, Xmithie. I think he's going to get himself caught. ZionSpartan needs to run the other way. It takes so long just to take Xmithie out. CLG is free to do whatever they want on the other side of the map here, and they're just pulling Gravity every which way, thinning them out one by one.
Yep. Just textbook split push there. They have the extra teleport. They make use of it. Hecarim is so far ahead at this point that he just annihilates the turret and the inhibitor. Even though Rek'Sai goes down, Xmithie lived for such a long time that they were able to take the top turret as well. CLG objective focus paying off, and their gold lead balloons to 10K.
So we do see, we kind of heard him talking about it on the analyst desk, does CLG kind of branch out? Do they do more? Do they fall back to comfort? Link's first Lulu coming out in the spring split, Zion's first Hecarim, so it seems like experimenting is at least the path for week 7 again for CLG.
Yeah, I do like this one, but I mean Rek'Sai is, like, if you ban out Rek'Sai, then a lot of the cross-map play is diminished. Okay. But Hecarim right now, everybody's finally using him in competitive play across the different regions, and so it's finally been accepted, I guess.
I think that makes
North American
makes Keane a little sad.
People have been, people have been playing Hecarim for so long in solo queue.
He doesn't get it mid anymore
here, but took a long time for the final go-ahead to use it in competitive play. Here goes Zion. Running in circles, okay.
Yep. He's going to be with the team. Teleports down. He's hanging around. He just wanted to do a few laps.
man, with the Spirit Visage as well. So much healing. He can, if he has the confidence to stay in the fight. Uh-oh.
Spirit of the Dread going to give him a lot of
This is actually classic CLG, not new things. Zion is just posing right now. He's trying to scare them off. Zion just beating his chest, yelling at them. Buys time for the rest of the team to finish Baron, and now he goes in.
He gets to the back line. I don't think Gravity's going to have much to be able to say about this one. The Viktor lockdown is actually on the other side. Does get Aphromoo down 1-for-1 so far, but it does not look like Gravity is long for this world, and they will now be running back to their base. The Nexus turret is already taking damage from super minions, and they're going to have Dragon in 5 seconds if they don't just continue the push down into the base.
This may be the cleanest game that we've seen from CLG all season. They have had, you know, really big blowout wins before, but they've always sort of made some late game mistakes that weren't the cleanest. So far this game, I think this might be the cleanest finish so far.
Right. They're not pausing, not hesitating. They go back for purchases, and they are right back in the face of Gravity. If we look on the map right now, I think there's one ward for Gravity. They have not had much or a chance to get those wards out, and if they do, they're being choked out by Counterlogic Gaming. Sweepers for 2 members upgraded, Xmithie and Aphromoo, doing the work to keep it clear and keep their vision up. Leaving ZionSpartan to do things like this, freely, all the way up the lane by himself, just hanging out.
He's just going to spam the recalls, rock out.
Engage once again.
All right, they bought enough time.
Right to the back.
Aphromoo with the flash hook onto Saint. They burn down the tank, and Zion zones the rest of the team. Hauntzer was not there. He had to flash over that wall, it looks like, just to get in place. And then self-ulting instead of ulting Doublelift there. It means he's going to die on the way out.
That was pretty funny.
No exit path.
Doublelift with the ever so frequent auto attack to the ward instead of the champion on A-Clay.
Well, you can lifesteal off those.
This is true.
If you have no other targets.
Very true. Very true.
Might as well.
So 32 minutes in, CLG once again approaches the base. They may not be leaving this time. Oh, that's half of your HP. He also had help picks on there for a little bit extra damage.
Yeah, this is why Lulu really makes hyper carries in the
crazy
game.
The shield's on. That's 5 seconds of Whimsy if he wants the speed up. And it is a completely safe Doublelift. That's also going to be a get excited. And it's just going to be very easy for them if he can get that passive going.
All right, Baroned up minions all over the base. 2 inhibitors down, and CLG push for the finish.
It's getting a little crowded in the base, Kobe. Every which lane comes crashing in now. Saintvicious going for broke, goes for Link, and he gets swiped right off the board. They're going to try as much as they can. Hauntzer goes in with the Zanyas
double goes down.
The Tome. And that may be the DPS they needed to actually finish the fight. You look around, and ZionSpartan's really the one to offer the next bit of damage. Keane firing the main beam, almost taking down Link. But he gets out alive.
I like that. Is it only a mean beam after it's upgraded?
Yeah, probably.
It's initially just...
It's kind of just a beam, and now it's a mean beam. There's many mean beams in League.
Just a little laser pointer at first.
Yeah. Still, you can't point it in anybody's eyes. It's dangerous. We'll see this one more time.
Yeah, Saintvicious. That's why we didn't want Link staying next to Doublelift, but they use the full ultimate, and Link actually pops Lulu ultimate on himself, leaving nothing left for Doublelift. And Hauntzer with a full commitment. Once they're able to take out Doublelift, takes a lot of wind out of the CLG sails. And since they do have such a big lead, no reason to stick around inside the base and lose any more members. So just wait for Doublelift to respawn. You can easily regroup. All inhibitors are exposed at this point. And the full map should be under CLG's control. So
this is crazy.
Lay down wards, grab every neutral objective.
Looking at this composition, you would not think that Gravity would have trouble at their turrets. They would be approached, they would clear the waves, Viktor laser, Graves Q, but they haven't had a chance to stop any of these waves. The way CLG got a lead and held that lead pretty much nullified this composition from Gravity a little bit.
And right back to the split push for them.
Right back.
Well,
why not? Spread them thin, make it happen once again. See who they can get off the map first. Gravity hard struck for an engage here if they are spread out across the map. Ultimates are up. Bunny FuFuu looking for Monsoon here to get one last disengage on to maybe peel for Cop, peel for Keane to get that extra damage in. It's looking grim, and CLG's looking to make their final move.
Slowly tightening the screws, CLG. Xmithie gets up to the inhibitor, and they call Zion over with the Trinity-empowered attacks.
Oh, crushing that down. Just a few more hits. And they do respect Keane's laser.
This is a good exercise in poking and prodding for CLG without getting caught.
Right.
Effectively split pushing. And they have been able to keep it up. One inhibitor is the reward so far. Now they can collapse on Gravity. See if they actually... Oh, the hook! That'll be...
Wait, that was the disengage. Back onto Cop. He's getting hit up by ZionSpartan. Zion's forced to turn. Saint still pretty tanky, and they are trading damage back well as Hauntzer was the first focus. But you forgot about Doublelift on the back line. A double kill. That could be a triple and a quadra, but it doesn't pop hard enough. And it is going to be Link taking down number 3. CLG is going to have the base.
Yeah, congratulations to CLG. Taking it over Gravity. Second time, I believe.
Yeah. CLG taking this game back in week 3, now to week 7. Just 4 later, they did their homework, figured out what composition needed to be played. They came out with a Hecarim and the Lulu this time in the top and the mid lane, and it's CLG Gaming will take down Gravity.
Yeah, Link showing that he plays mid lane, AD carry, and support.
And support.
From the mid lane.
That's right.
So versatility still definitely intact for CLG.
A different looking Lulu than we see there towards the early game with a bit more cool down, the lucidity, the control. He's still built in that power of the Zanyas, the Rabadons, but everything was focused on to Doublelift, back to the protected Doublelift and let him carry like a boss with ZionSpartan also being gigantic in the top lane, just because that's ZionSpartan this season.
Yeah, once again, early stages played out really well from CLG. The lane swaps.
Yep. Wow, a lot approaching. And giving high fives to the crowd. There's that bottom lane rush hour. Ooh, wins right there. Props to that guy. Saintvicious with good plays in the early game, getting himself those smites in, controlling objectives for the team. But it just seemed like the warding CLG was able to do left Saint nowhere to go that he wasn't seen. They knew everything that he was doing, and it's hard to counter or even create your own ganks when you're always in the eyes of the enemy.
Yeah, extra mobility from CLG, constantly pressuring the map. Calm and controlled.
Calm and controlled, indeed. Methodical as well, 11-4. Like we said, once they were inside that base, they were still textbook split pushing. They could have gone straight for the turrets, but they didn't want to lose too many deaths. Obviously get a few more fantasy points for themselves. It's always nice to tack on. But we do see a little bit more versatility here from CLG Gaming as they bring out, as we said, the Hecarim and the Lulu. So what do you do next? How do you band against this team? Something for other teams to think about. Towards the top of the list, CLG Gaming looks to face Team Solo Mid in week 8, and Team Impulse in week 9 as well. Games for them to definitely look at along the road for them. Gravity also has Team Solo Mid and Cloud9 coming up in 8 and 9. So it's going to be a tough road. There's still those games for the top of the list teams to be played against for these guys.
Yeah, and for Gravity's side, you know, showing the power of this Viktor, that's been a very popular pick.
Yeah.
In Asia especially. He did actually more damage to champions than Doublelift did, and Keane was on the losing team. So even though Viktor, without those extra kills, still putting in a lot of work for Gravity.
Absolutely. They definitely wanted to put it in the composition again, playing it last week and the loss, playing it this week again. But it, like you said, it doesn't seem like the problem to that composition. Something they can definitely work on as well. When I forget who we said about it last year, but it's one of them playing good, but all of them need to come together and play good at the same time. If that doesn't happen, then Gravity